Is Silent Hill really that fucking scary? Can you handle it? First of all, Ohio, mi amigos. I am cringing so hard right now. I'm cringing so hard right now. If you have a chicken heart like me and you're kind of like fucking shit ass scared of horror games, horror movies, but you're kind of like intrigued because of the storyline, or like you would like to eventually watch it, but you don't really have the courage, well, same. Because I've always had this fascination with like horror games and horror movies, but I could never really watch them. So it's not really a genre that I got into, to be honest. It's a genre that it seems fascinating to me even now, but I can't really watch it because like I literally cannot sleep alone for like 2 weeks straight. It's so bad that I have such a vivid imagination that I see the fucking monsters and then I create new ones on top of that. All right, it's like you're literally creating your own nightmares, you know? And like it looks cool, sure, hell yeah. I wish I could draw that, you know? I really wish I could, but it doesn't really work like that. And recently I watched a gameplay of Silent Hill. It kind of took a while for me to click on the video because I was like, fuck. Like my heart was like, like I cannot really contain myself. I get scared. I get the adrenaline. Like I'm not fucking stressing about like the technical stuff on how not to fucking parry and shit. No, I'm not even doing that. I'm just watching and I'm scared out of my pants. Silent Hill F, mind you, there's an F at the end. Basically, it's a psychological horror game mostly. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute because there are like a lot of aspects that are like kind of like scary and different types of like terror, I suppose. It was released like 25th of September from what I remember in 2025, so I'm kind of late to the game. Hello, of course I am. I'm fucking scared out of my mind. You're not gonna... Anyway, calm down. It's set in 1960s rural Japan, and the town name is Ebisugaoka. Japan, 1960s. We all know what kind of like era that was. It was post-war, and it was like culturally speaking, it was like post-war, and like people were starting to, you know, consume more products, like a consumer society, you could call it. And you know, actually throughout the game, from what I've seen, they're like little like cultural, I was gonna say Easter eggs, like cultural eggs that you can find. Like I think there was one instance where there was a magazine, and I think one of the items that you can drink is actually a ramune, and that was kind of interesting. I don't remember the message or whatever, but I think it was about like, you know, like women something. It was about women saying something like super fucking sexist, because we all know like at that time it was, again, it was 1960s, and especially in Japan, there was this pressure to like conform to like, you know, the group mentality was like above all else, you know, the group harmony, whatever the fuck you want to name it. And you know, the gender roles were obviously very reinforced. Like you cannot really just be like, no, I don't want to marry, or no, I don't want to do this because I'm an independent woman. No. No, honey. Didn't work like that. So the main protagonist, or like the main character you are playing as, is Shimizu Hinako. Hinako-chan is basically, I don't even know, like, is she a fucking high schooler? Like, yeah, I guess she's a high schooler, like looking at the fucking obvious uniform. But anyway, also there was in one of the let's plays, the uniform was like black and the tie was red. However, I saw another video and then the uniform was like white and blue or something. I was like, am I tripping? Is this because like the same person played like multiple times? Because you know, you can get obviously different fucking endings. And I was like, why the fuck do you have a different uniform? However, anyway, let's stop there. I'm going off track very easily. What happened was that when I first saw like Hinako, I literally thought about the anime of like Hell's Girl, like Jigoku Shoujo. I think it was her name, the name of the anime in Japanese. It really brought back like memories, because I remember being a kid watching that show. I didn't want to watch it because I was so fucking scared, but I was like, oh my god, the Hell Girl, why the fuck is she called Hell Girl? She's fucking beautiful, you know, she's literally, oh my god, put a picture on it here or over there. You need to see it. Like, she was punishing people. Like, I have not looked this up again in my life. This is only like from memory from like 10 plus years ago. Like, she was punishing people because of the sins that they did or whatever. No, wait, no. I remember there were people like praying to God or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay, I'm not gonna, yeah. Then Hell Girl would appear, right? When a person is like, I want to take revenge on this other person and nah, you know, very ominous shit. And then Hell Girl would like suddenly appear, I believe, and then she would hand like a, what the fuck should I call it? It's like a voodoo doll, you know, like made of straws or something. And I believe, oh, this is based only off memory, my guy. I am improvising here. You need something of the other person that you're trying to take revenge on. So it could be like a hair strand, very fucking obvious, right? It could be like, I don't know, like an item, but usually I think it's a hair strand. I don't think they change that. I think it's like consistently throughout the episodes. Do not quote me. What happens is that, you know, when the people break like mentally, then they also break the fucking voodoo doll or whatever the fuck, and so inherently they kill the other person, so they take revenge. But then in exchange, Hell Girl takes them to hell, I think. Wait, let me check, when was this shit made? 2005, dude. Shit. Anyway, that's what it reminded me of, purely because of like the school uniform. Anyway, I thought that was a little fun fact for the OG anime fans that actually know who the fuck Hell Girl is. I don't think I've ever met like another person who knows, like in real life, like who knows who Hell Girl is. Looking at the monsters, so I did I say this? I never played this game. I did not play this game, obviously, because I'm fucking scared out of my ass. I would literally not even complete the first mission, okay? I would be scared out of my mind. I would die immediately. I wouldn't. So I didn't play it. Anyway, so what happens first is like there's this cutscene. There's like the first kind of like monster that we see, but we don't see at the same time. It's like the Fog Man or the fog beast. Yes, in the beginning they're all trying to, you know, like run from the Fog Man, and then in this scene one of them dies. I believe one of the kids dies. It's like, if you have the fear of holes, do not fucking even try this game, because, or if you do watch Let's Play, make sure that like fucking censored, because it's like right at the beginning, and like I think if the Fog monster like kills you, you get like spots all over you. Anyway, it's kind of disgusting, not gonna lie. I don't really have that fear, but it is kind of disgusting. But yeah, so the first actual monster that we see is something called Kashimashi. Well, the way people pronounce it is Kashimashi, which is kind of inherently wrong because this is an E adjective. If you ever learn Japanese, it's Kashimashi, so it's an E adjective. But anyway, apparently from what I've heard, it's supposed to be a manifestation of her emotions per se. Funnily enough, it's written with, or like I did not find literally like the kanji, like the literal kanji used for them, because even if you look it up, like their names would pop up in katakana first, so I did not find the kanji. Perhaps they did not write it in kanji at all. So what is happening is that, you guys know, like I'm sure you have seen it like on Reels, TikTok shorts, whatever the fuck, there is this super famous kanji, and it means noisy or annoying or even boisterous. The way you write that, right, you take the kanji for women, and kanji for women can also be, it's also a radical, right? It means that it can be used as a part of another kanji, right? So the way you write kashimashi, the kanji for it is like 3 women. It's one kanji, but it's like 3 radicals, right, of woman, the kanji women, stacked upon each other. I mean, if you have the picture, it's so much fucking easier to see. But yeah, it's made of that. This kanji is actually also written or used to also write words such as incest and then grape. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say these things. Like, it's fucking hell, it's my first YouTube video. Like, I'm hitting some really harsh words right now. What the actual fuck? And then we have adultery. You also have this word kind of like wicked, perverse type, but I haven't really heard it as much like in daily use in Japanese, but it's neekan. So anyway, so this word, this kanji specifically, is not really used in like very positive contextual, you know, kanji. Let's just keep that in mind. But if basically you're scared of like fucking dolls or like mannequins, you're kind of fucked from the very beginning, because this is literally what a kashimashi is, except it's kind of like worse, because it has like, the way it has been described is like masses of flesh sewn together, right? But to me, it kind of looks like a doll or like a mannequin that is trying to gain some humanity, so it has sewn, you know, like flesh on itself. Oh my god, what am I talking about, guys? What the... Oh my god, I feel like I'm losing my mind. What the fuck is this? This is my first YouTube video. Why the fuck am I talking about this? Anyway, this was not on my fucking bingo card. I thought it was gonna talk about like fucking, I don't know, anime music, like fucking variety, whatever show. I think that once you get used to them, it's definitely like easier to digest it. Their moves are like pretty predictable from what I've seen. It's always like the same shit over and over again. Like, it's fine. However, the ones that I have like long fucking hair are the scariest in my opinion. Because like, obviously, you know, from the playthroughs that I've seen, they change like fucking a few accessories, if you will. And the scariest ones are the ones with long hair. And also like, their face is also kind of scary. They kind of have like a grin, but like their eyes are like, you know, carved out and whatever the fuck. So there's that. The first thing that you encounter is this, you know, this kashimashi that you have to fight. And here's where you learn how to dodge, and then later on you learn how to attack and parry, right? And so this is not the worst, right? It's scary, very scary at the beginning. The moves are like a little bit like, what the fuck is this? Like, where is the torso? And like, it's kind of like, you know? But it's all right. It's all right. You're gonna get used to it. You know what I mean? The first initial jump scare is gonna be there, but it's not something like, oh my god, I'm gonna die type of thing. One thing that I can say is that I do not like the fucking sounds that they make, like the like, I don't even know how to remake it. Like, it's so fucking annoying. And it's like, sometimes in the game it's like so fucking quiet, and then you hear that fucking kashimashi creeping in, and then you're like, where the fuck is it? And then you see it like from far away, and then it kind of creeps on you, and this is why I could never Markiplier and every single horror game creator, you kind of saved my life, because I really enjoy this, but I cannot play it myself because I would shit myself so bad. Second one is scarecrows. So scarecrows, you wouldn't think that, you know, oh my god, a scarecrow, how scary can it be? Well, a lot scarier than you might think, because they're not necessarily like, the design is not necessarily like the worst, like the scariest in the game. However, the task that you are made to do to interact with the scarecrows is what makes it like scary, to be honest. So basically, you have to interact with them, right? You're like cutting in a field, a rice field, if I believe so. You have to kind of like interact and like collect something from their bodies, right? There is a riddle, right? There is a riddle every single like task that you, for the task that you have to do. So task, you have like, you're in the rice field, you see the scarecrows, you see the riddle, blah blah blah. If you get it fucking wrong and you do not solve the riddle, and then you go to the wrong scarecrow, it's kind of like you have to extract that thing from their body, and then if it's wrong, they will just jump scare you. Like not jump scare you, but they would immediately start moving, and it's like, fuck, you have to fight. And then some of them had really creepy like smiley masks on, and if anything, girl, I can handle gore, okay? Gore is fine. I know some people like hate gore, and that's completely fine, but I'm okay with it, you know? I fuck with gore, because gore is like, oh my god, it's just like blood and flesh. Like, it's nothing that's serious, you know? It's, but when I see smiley masks, fuck, I'm done. I'm out of here. You have a good life, you have a good everything. I will go away now. Rest in peace, my friend. Hallelujah, amen. Goodbye. At the end of all the tasks, I believe there are either 3 or 4, there is like the last scarecrow, right? And then I thought it was gonna be the same thing over again, you know, extract it, and then they'll move a little bit, tell you what to do next, blah blah blah. No, you should prepare yourself, because if you're actually gonna play this game, the last Scarecrow is actually gonna give you like a fucking cutscene. And I was watching this like late at night, okay? I was actually losing my mind, because I was like, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? I cannot stop watching it because it's like, it's so fucking good. And it's like, you know, like one of the players that I watched was obviously fucking Markiplier, right? And he's so calm about it. He's like, yes, he makes funny jokes and he like screams from time to time, but it's like, he's so calm about it. He's so chill about it. So like, the fucking suspense between like playing the game, which is a fucking horror game that I hate and I love at the same time, combined with like his energy of like being fucking calm, it's like, it's addictive, bro. It's like, I cannot stop watching it. And then by the time I'm done with all the freaking YouTube videos that I plan to watch, it's like 3 a.m. I hear a fucking ominous sound. I cannot fucking sleep. I have nightmares. Next day I wake up, I say, oh my fucking god, I'm never doing this again. Guess what? In a month, I'll do exactly the same thing. I'm going so off track. I'm so sorry. Nobody's gonna listen to this. Holy fuck. The next one that we have that is kind of an upgrade of Kashimashi is called Harai Katashiro. In terms of like scariness, it's just a little bit worse than the Kashimashi, because they have like fucking blades for legs, and the way they twist is fucking bad. And their masks, because they have masks, right? The Kashimashi basically don't have a face. They have their like eyes gorged out or something. But the way the Kashimashis are built, they have like this fucking mask, and I think that's even like, that's worse, bro. That's because you don't know what's underneath, right? You don't know. You know, in the journal, because you know you have so many journal entries of how like Hinako and her friends are feeling about certain stuff and blah 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 blah, but there was one specifically about the Harai Katashiro, and it said like, hold on, quotation mark, did someone sever both of its legs and replace them with such disturbing things so it could go anywhere, or was it brought into existence just so it could end up like this? I don't know, girl, you tell me. This is your makeup world, not mine. Damn, how mental is twisted. Anyway. Yo. Nope. Oh my god. This is not meant in any like... Oh, I'm gonna cancel so fast. For this one, harai can actually be written with the kanji for payment, or the kanji for like purification and... I should have pointed here. Purification and... what's it called again? Exorcism. Based on the context, I would obviously fucking say that, you know, it's the latter, right? Exorcism, you know, with this oldest like mythical creatures in the game and whatnot. But wait, did I say what the katashiro is? Katashiro is basically, what the fuck is it called again? It's like the, is it a paper or a doll? I don't remember. It's a paper either or a doll that it's used to like kind of ward off evil spirits. The harai part, I thought it was kind of interesting because, you know, like obviously it's the harai meaning in purification and exorcism, right? The more you know about Dad's storyline, the more, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe the creators did not intend for people to think about it like this, so which I kind of doubt it, but like also, anyway, what the fuck do I know? This is what I think, okay? This is my opinion. This is my opinion. I think that it's fun to think about the harai part also as like the payment because of the dad that we know. Spoiler alert, apparently he was into fucking debt or something. I'm not gonna say how he's trying to fix it or like how he got into debt. I don't even think that people know how he got into debt, but anyway, I'm not gonna say anymore. But I think that it's fun to think about it that way, you know? It's kind of like this monster is coming like to fucking, you know, purifying you and just being there as like warding off evil spirits. It did become the evil spirit, and then it's kind of like looking for payment. I don't think that's a genius take, but you know, I thought it was fun. And then we have the Kamugara. Bruh, this bitch is so blind. It relies on sound to get you. So I would say the design is not too bad, but if gore is your weakness, then maybe don't look at its face or its arms, or you know, maybe just run away. You know, I don't think it's really that bad, to be honest. I mean, the face is actually the worst. Actually, I cannot comment on this, but I didn't really find the kanji spelling for this either. If you kind of split the name up, kamu, there is a kanji for kamu, which means it's a verb and it means to bite, chew, if you will, or masticate. That's kind of a fancy word, domesticate. I also found that gara obviously has like so many different kanjis, but the first one that popped up, I thought it was like, oh, okay, this might be actually quite relevant, right? Because the first meaning of it was patterns and design, and then the second meaning was body build, physique, and then figure. Basically, I thought it makes sense, right? Because if you put it all together, chewing body, and he basically looked like he was chewed up himself, right? I feel like this one was kind of like straightforward, you know? This one is not that scary, like the design is not that scary. However, the first time you encounter it, I feel like it's gonna scare the shit out of you because it's gonna be a fucking jump scare. It's like you're gonna turn, you go into this area, you know, new location, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna say too much, but you turn around, it's kind of like dark. You turn around and this bitch is right there. Then you get a cutscene and then it's like, fuck my life. And then you have to look for something while you're trying to like beat this bitch up, or like at least try to get away from it if you're like smart about it. Next one on the list is Oi Omoi. Oi, I think it means old age. That's literally the most common kanji for it. Omoi means heavy. Now, obviously, if you know what the story is about already, this kind of makes sense. If you know what's going on with Hinako already, this kind of makes sense. This monster is basically made up of like dolls, right? It's kind of like a clump of dolls. If you didn't know, or if you didn't remember, the game opens with Hinako playing with her doll, right? This one definitely looks like the best for us chicken-hearted people. The meaning is like, you know, quite a heavy one. I know, peak humor right there. And then one of the, I wouldn't say boring, all right? I wouldn't say boring here because I don't think it's boring, but like it's the irohihi. This bitch is definitely ugly, bro, because the bro looks like he has been eating broccoli, okay, for the past 10 months and not being able to fucking fart it out. This is the first thought that I had because I was like, oh my god, how? Hold on, I'm lying. The first thought that I had is this bitch has endometriosis. And then I was like, I thought about the broccoli. I was like, sheesh. The thing is, I think the Japanese wordplay here was actually pretty funny because, you know, he has like this fucking attack, or like some of the scenes you can see that he's trying to like lick you or like eat you or whatever the fuck. Like his tongue is disgusting, bro. It's disgusting. Iro can mean color. That's literally the first thing that you can think about, you know, when you hear iro is color. But it can also actually mean lust. It can also mean love and whatever the fuck. It has so many fucking meanings, you know? But it can also mean love and lust. And why does lust play a part here? I'll tell you why. Because hihi can mean both baboon or dirty old man. Also, in the dictionary, they also included a skirt searcher. All right, that was part of it. And you know what? I'm kind of glad they included that because you know why? I think this just like represents, I think everybody thinks that. The fuck? It's basically, you know, Hinako's, I was gonna say torment or like trauma about the men, you know, in her life, maybe. Like, imagine if right now there are cases in Japan of people, you know, trying to touch high school girls up their skirts. I believe, was it last year? I think it was last year. There was like this kind of like news popping up about how the exam season for high school girls is kind of like the terror season because old men like pervs and whatnot know that it's kind of like the trains are packed of like high school girls and they're kind of like trying to hunt them down and stuff like that. I think it was something like that like last year. I did not really hear anything this year, but imagine if things like that happen now. Imagine how it was in like 1960s Japan. Fuck, bro, it must have been fucking awful back then. I don't even really want to think about it. Like, I think people should think about it, you know, and actually, but it's like, fuck, it's disgusting. Actually, it's disgusting. Honestly, I felt so, when I realized this, like, I felt so bad for Hinako. So the irohihi, except for the fucking belly that looks like it hasn't pooped in like 10 years, it's fine, really. It's fine, really. It's just the meaning is kind of gross though. Ara abare, honestly, not that scary. It kind of looks like a fucking old ass clump of slime that hasn't been washed for the past 5 months. Okay, that's what it looked like to me. Like, but to be fair, the first scene he pops up in, it was kind of intimidating because, bro, the design itself, you know, it's not that scary, but the guy has like a fucking blade, like a 2-meter blade. I think, I don't even know what to call it. It's not even a sword, it's a fucking blade. Like, I was like, oh my god, because you know, it's like I'm not like scared in like the oh my god, like this is terrifying type of scared. I'm more like, oh my god, I'm not a gamer. How the fuck am I supposed to beat this bitch up? You know, like imagine if I started like, you know, suddenly playing the game. I'm not a fucking gamer. You know, I enjoy watching games. I enjoy playing some games. But I just know that if I were in that position, I would be like, holy fuck, I can never beat this guy up. Like, I would be so scared. And then I remember in one of the videos, obviously they were not supposed to fight it, like the first time they encounter it, right? And then you had to kind of like escape through a building. And I'm like, this huge ass monster is literally a block, not even a block, what the fuck am I saying? 2 walls away. And then you just walk around like, oh, nothing happened. Like, of course they cannot reach us because there's an imaginary barrier over there. Like, anyway. Fun fact, Albane means going all out in a violent way. This guy has anger issues. It's an angry slime, you know? That's what I like to call him, an angry slime. And I think it's fitting. And obviously we have the final boss, Shiromuku, which is the white bride that you encounter at the end of the game. Shiromuku literally translates to like white kimono. Obviously, there's a whole story on why she's dressed like that. Obviously, the story of Silent Hill F has been like explained by a lot of creators and whatnot. I'm not going into that. This was not the point of the video. The point of the video is me to rant about how the fuck I cannot play this game because I'm scared out of my ass, all right? But I still enjoy it and I still want to know what the fuck the story is about. But then I also don't want to just hear about the stories. I also want to see people play it because it's like I feel like I'm missing out like such a huge chunk of like the lore or like the aspect of the game in a way. So I cannot just watch like the whole story of Silent Hill explained. I cannot do that. I feel like I'm missing so much, you know? The final boss is not really that scary. The face is kind of fucked up, to be honest, but it's not really that bad. I would say that, you know, the other monsters have a more fucked up face than the last boss. However, there's something I forgot to mention. You guys remember Harai Katashiro? I think those were the ones, you know, when you're in this temple area, let's call it, right? To not spoil too much. They fall from the fucking roof. I thought I was gonna die from jump scare because I told you they move in a more twisted way than any other of the creatures, right? They're like fucking scary in their movements, right? And then you just walk around, you know, you don't see anything in your, you know, peripheral vision within the game. And then all of a sudden you take 2 steps and then this bitch falls from the sky. This is what I'm scared of, you know? Like, I don't like that. Don't do that. Like, just come kill me from behind or something. Do not fucking fall from the sky. Yes, there is like the scary factor of it. There's like, it's very foggy, you know? It's very like drained of color, if you will. But the cutscenes, I believe, like at least in the beginning, you know, they're so beautiful. I believe that, you know, it really just does show the rural side of Japan that, you know, maybe people don't really see today as much because everybody travels to fucking Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka like these days. Like that's all they do. That's all, you know, that's all the tourists know. Okay, Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, maybe Hokkaido. Okay, maybe Hokkaido because of like snow festival and whatever the fuck during winter time. But it was so nice. And honestly, the thing that I loved the most, it wasn't even like the journal entries because, you know, you get to know more about the lore, more about the story. It's the fucking cultural Easter eggs. I thought they were funny, like from the 1960s, if you will. Even though some of them like are like sexist and whatnot, I think it's so cool to just, you know, being able to walk around in a freaking horror game. Like I thinking, you know, if I played this game, I would lose, you know, on that. I wouldn't be confident enough to, you know, explore because I would feel so scared that every single time I have to look around the corner, there's gonna like a bitch will pop up and would just kill me. But to be fair, every single time from what I've seen you got killed, it was actually a very cool cutscene. Again, depending on the monster that killed you, there are different cutscenes obviously, but then some of them, I don't remember which ones unfortunately for you, has the one that you get spots all over you. I think this video was also more like for myself Or like for the people that feel like, you know, they're scared, even though they know that they would enjoy these types of like video games and movies even. It's just that they're too scared. And I feel like once I know a little bit more about the type of monsters there are, the type of like storyline we're working here with, and type of like setting, and maybe a little bit of a heads up on the fucking jump scares, I feel like if I knew that, I could do it, you know? I could push through. I could push through. I would, well, you know, I would still get nightmares, but I would push through. If you relate in any way, form, or shape whatsoever, help this channel grow. Hit subscribe. You know, I don't even care about the likes. This is my first video, guys. Oh my god, isn't that amazing? This is so cringe. Oh my god. Imagine I'm gonna do this for like 1 or 2 years. Imagine going back, looking at it. It's like,
Oh my fucking god, I thought this was cool content.
I can't wait. I'll see you guys in the next video.